So we did a stream like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, somewhere around there, called
Yeah.
Bob Saves the World, and we asked a couple questions. The first one was, the topic was sexuality, and the question that we asked is like, should I become a eunuch? Like, should I cut off my balls? Is horniness a net negative for my life? The next question
Wait, what
was,
was the answer? What was the
I think it was no, that I think that
No.
the balls
don't
were
become a
correct. Yeah,
It's pretty
so you
close though.
you still have your balls to
hmm
clarify for the
I
viewers at
still have
home.
my balls,
You should get a pool.
so then I
You know,
could I could
poolside
get the
with
butt out.
Bob. Yeah, a little just cheeks out and just hanging out with a hot babe. Oh, actually, that's a pro, dude, because like you get to do it with hot babes and maybe even super
Oh,
hot babes.
that is
Yep.
true. Like
Definite pro.
like me and Malkova might do a scene with me.
Damn, that makes my
Get
heart race for you.
to do. Can like I'm allowed to type this too, right? Uh, like how PG do you like to
Get
type
to
this?
get to collaborate with
Collaborate with hot babes.
or even hot
Frank's the
babes.
fucking walking thesaurus
You
over
are
here.
very good at this.
He's killing it.
If people are jacking off you, they're not jacking off to hentai.
That's
Think
true
about
too.
that.
Yeah, you could be.
Unless you're doing erotic cosplay, maybe you're showing off your favorite anime or
I'm
manga.
not gonna do that. If I'm doing the all, I'm definitely not gonna do that. But I think I think you guys are right. I think there is definitely a utility of blast. Con get tested every 2 weeks. That doesn't sound like a con too much.
Yeah, you get to
You just know that
talk
you're
to a
safe.
doctor. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I guess a con would be like it might affect like future sponsors because the world's not progressive enough yet.
Yeah, the losers are gonna look
Oh
down
yeah,
on
for
you.
sure. It's basically the case, right? That you have to choose like a path between either adult entertainment or children's entertainment, right? You cannot do both. Like you're never gonna work for Disney. You're never
These are
gonna be on
branching
Nickelodeon.
paths.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
you
true. Like,
just
in
so
your
say, like, what
life.
happens if I just want to write from jokes for some Pixar movie one day? Like, if I have my dong floating around, like, maybe they won't hire me. Like, maybe I can't punch up some jokes for them.
Bob's size is like a really big variable here. Bob's size and presentation.
I mean, yeah, I
Yep.
think it's definitely it's pretty, right? But the functionality is where it sucks, right? Like,
But
I
that's
would,
what that could be all camera tricks, whatever,
yes,
dude.
that
Yeah,
could
Bob
be.
it
that
up.
could be. Yeah,
It's strings, man.
this
yeah,
might be
like
the perfect
this
arena
was
for you then.
one. I did this in one take. I could lie.
You could basically
This was
do a
one
stop
session.
motion.
Mine's
Dude.
fine.
One,
Yeah.
what about a stop motion porn? Actually, a pretty good idea, right? Like one
Has
frame at
anybody
a
done-
time.
Has
One
anybody
frame at a
done
time.
Stop motion porn before?
Bob's actually seen my penis. Like,
Yeah, I don't think it had the balls in it.
no,
I think
yeah,
it was
I
a
mean,
ballless shot.
which actually was like kind of a mistake. Like at the time, I didn't realize it, but I guess like I think since then I've learned that maybe my balls are one of my stronger points, like from an aesthetic standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, but they
Don't
can't. I
undersell.
don't think they could be hairy though.
No, of course not.
God, that's actually a con is that I would have to maintain my body down there.
That sounds like a pro.
No, that sounds awful. That's so
Think
much
about
energy.
summertime, but think about summertime, dude. You don't want a swampy little marsh of pubes and
You don't want the word marsh to really
ball
ever.
boogers.
Is this how
Yeah.
you spell maintain? I really
Yeah, that's it. You're getting
maintain
good at it.
my body hair. That truly sounds awful. Because like right now, I promise you, the butt
Loss
hair
of
is out of
sensitivity.
control. Is that
Mossy
really a
25
thing?
with a big, maybe. I mean, if you're like,
Like in terms of like porn escalation, like if you're consuming too much, like okay, what happens? Like there is like a saving
wait,
yourself.
what is this argument?
Like so say like it's a little bit more special, like is it going to take away from that? Like is there any argument to be made that if I only give it to one person, like only they get to see me nude? Like is there something special with that? Like this is your little secret.
I mean, I don't think there's anything
No.
more special than boning a new stranger, dude. Birth canal, more like the Panama Canal. Woo, this thing is. That's loose!
God, we could just accuse people of having wide. We could just accuse them. Whoa. Like honestly, me bullying girls while having sex with them would probably get watched. People.
Do you think that people
that
would
is a
use
great
that
episode of
to
Curb.
to get themselves off though, or would they just watch it as entertainment?
I don't know.
Because like, is this helping you in what you've really come to the hub for?
But then again, like, is that a problem? So say if I do adult content, but like the Bob7 spin on it, like, is that a problem? Like, say if people aren't blasting, but they're really having a good laugh.
No, that's fine. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. How do you see this playing out?
I mean,
I
there
don't
used
know
to be that site where people would watch like the flubs or whatever, right?
Mm.
So like, I mean, there is like, I mean, there's definitely like that's like people aren't probably watching that to blast, but they might be watching it as like a warm up, or like with their friends to have a goof. Be like,
Yeah.
man, have you seen the new Bob7 Blast video? Bob7 Blast threes, Bob7 top six.
He did the thing with his hands again.
What? Yeah.
I always like imagine like maybe it could be cool if you did like nude photos, but you like edited them heavily. So like imagine my penis doing like a cool Photoshop corkscrew, like that could be cool.
Or you're like snake charming it. Yeah, it's like coming
Yeah.
up and it's Babu and yeah.
Like, I mean, you can just do a lot of things with Photoshop. Like very big penis, that's funny. Very small penis, that's also funny.
Also sad. But
Also sad. Like, why aren't anybody's putting out just purely Photoshop nudes out there?
That used to be a pretty big thing, I guess. Like, I mean, they stopped doing that. Like, once people got video content, I don't think people look at images anymore outside of
Really?
the OnlyFans. Yeah, well, because like, I mean, people used to do like bad, like photoshops of like celebrities or whatever, and it would be like, here's Jennifer Aniston's butt or whatever, right? And it was clearly just not Jennifer Aniston's butt.
Okay, so I'm just curious if you primarily, when you wank, if you enjoy yourself to pictures rather than video, type 1. If you use primarily video, type 2. I'm curious of the makeup of the chat.
You're not going to get a lot of ones.
Really?
There's no way.
There's more people who are jacking off to audio and textual stuff than people who are looking at just pics. I would guarantee
think that's
that.
Probably true, yeah.
100%. The worst thing actually is when you're dirty talking to someone and like maybe you're mumbling a little bit and they ask you to repeat it.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah, it's like just a pussy or whatever, and it's like what? And it's like it's not going to sound as good the second time. I'm not going to be able to sell this in a hot enough way. It comes out, it's.
Man, I'm pretty sure the concept of degrading girls not in a sexy way like really is so funny to me, because like I don't know, like I always think of the concept of like if you say something that purely has no upside, like that, I don't know why that turns funny. Just like why would you do it? Like say if you're with a girl, it's like like wow, I could really smell that stinkle from here. Like that is no one's winning. That is good for no one.
I've gone close to that. I've said I looked at your asshole and like I wasn't attracted to it, but I wasn't offended by it. So it's it's skirting that line.
Do you think you might be on the spectrum like Zintani implied? No, I don't. I think I'm okay. So there's points where I'm socially unaware, but it's not like I don't know. I'm definitely not autistic.
How can you be so sure?
What
if Rem thought you were autistic?
Rim's never been wrong.
Rem has never been wrong. I think this is important to consider.
I feel like when I say insensitive things, I'm making a conscious decision that I'm taking a risk.
Okay.
So and I think that shows awareness. So like Zintani gave the example, like when I asked her like, have you ever thought that you're broken? Like I made a thought like before I said that, like, man, this is a little bit risky, but I'm gonna throw it out there because I think like I have trust. Like I mean, this was off stream. This was just me and her.
Oh wow.
But like, this was one-on-one. There was no one else around.
There was no one. Yeah, no, there was nobody else around.
So that was just for her. That's awesome.
Yeah. In high school, there was a kid that got caught having sex with a girl and using a plastic bag as a condom in the stairwell. And
how did that detail get leaked?
Do you think they enjoyed
it? Like who caught them? How'd that
because the kid was bragging about it, and the girl, she got really bullied for it. She wasn't a looker. She was pretty ugly. And she got bullied. And
I thought you said all women are beautiful. Didn't you say that before?
No, like she was considered ugly to other people. I think she's a 7.
Oh, you were just relaying information from other people. Okay.
Yeah, and he and according to the kid, he said when his dad got called into the office that they showed him the vid, which is really
No way.
strange.
I don't
That's what he
believe that.
said.
There's
I,
no
What?
way.
I don't know if I believe him either, but he said that they showed the father the video. I would say sex is borderline a human right. For example,
that?
for example, there is some European countries. I don't know what fucking countries, but I was reading
Is this-
that some
Go
European
ahead.
countries, for people that are disabled, the government will actually provide them with prostitutes, and their happiness levels
Wow.
are way higher than other disabled people throughout the world. So I think that people not having sex is pretty sad. So I mean, if considering that's the case, it's a human right. Everybody deserves to have sex. You typed, imagine there was a trolley. I did a really fun version of the trolley problem on the last Queen of the Hill. And
R.I.P.
yeah, that VOD got ripped. And for those who missed it, there was a girl, and there was two girls, obviously. And I asked one of them, so there's a train or a trolley, who gives a fuck? It's on the path, and it will kill your mom. Or you could pull the lever, and instead it will kill 500 people. So in my brain, I'm going to think, like, no matter what she says, I'm going to guilt her about it. If she decides to save the 500 people, I'm going to say, like, hey, do you not care about your mom? If she just decides to, save her mom, I'm going to say, do you even care about 500 people? Like, that's pretty fucked up. So I go ahead with this, and she says, oh, I would save the 500 people. So then I go ahead with it. I'm just like, do you not care about your mom? That's pretty messed up. And then she went on to say, no, my mom is just really sick.
So that probably went as good as possible. Like, I can't think of a better outcome than that, actually, because that's the only way you get owned in this scenario. Her mom's probably not even sick. She just found the one out. That was her only out, was to just make you the asshole.
That would be the wittiest thing ever if that was just a lie. And then after that, I proceeded to double down and ask the next girl the same question. And then she said she would save her mom, and I said, that's very noble of you. But then I did ask her, like, she made the point, she was like, yeah, 500 people, there's got to be some bad people in there, right? And I was like, yeah, like, maybe out of 500, there's like 100 bad people. But what if it's just random people, like, what happens if one of them's your dad? And she was like, oh, yeah, I didn't consider that. I don't know. I don't think she said that, but that would have been a good line. I wish I could just write everything
just
that
lie.
every
You could
person
just-
says. Like, I wish I could just have a conversation. Like, I'll say something and then I could make the girl say something too. Is that what people do with television?
Yeah, you just
That
you
does sound
have
like a script. Yeah,
it
that
sounds
does
like you
sound
might
like
be
a-
looking. The device you're looking for is definitely a script, maybe a screenplay.
I would say that I'm already pretty incentivized to get jacked, but this would improve it. So this would probably be a 10.
Okay.
Because, like, everybody should be jacked. There's no downside of being jacked. Like, why aren't you jacked? It's good for you. Be ripped. Be hot as fuck. You'll be happier. You'll get hotter babes. Why wouldn't you get hot as fuck, idiot?
Just get as hot as possible.
See,
If you work out too much, though, you expend a lot of energy.
Like, what happens
You
if the
can't live as
government
long.
said, if you don't get jacked, we will end you? Like, would that lead to happiness?
It would end up more jacked people.
You think
That's
people
sure.
respond well to being put at gunpoint?
You wouldn't have to necessarily put them at gunpoint.
Well, you just said we'll end you.
You could just
I
turn
mean,
off their
okay,
power
so,
or their
like,
water.
it doesn't have to be a gun, right? So say if they are fat, like, you could drone strike them for sure. Like, the government's
Take-
great at that.
Okay.
Take
So
away
that is
their-
ending them.
Oh, yeah, that's ending them for sure.
Okay. That's what I mean by gunpoint.
I would
You can
imagine.
turn off their internet connection.
Yeah, it's true. What would they do then? Just
If you've got to do 10 pull-ups before you can log on at the start of the day, that's
do 10
probably a
pull-ups.
net positive. Yeah, for sure. I think everybody
Yeah.
in chat would be like, I'll do 10 pull-ups before I log on to Discord.
I think Bob's just really into being threatened.
no.
Yeah,
You're just really into, like...
Bob wants to be a bad little
Ooh.
boy that's getting
Yeah.
disciplined on his
Yes,
No,
Bob wants
sexy
to be
Snapchat.
disciplined. Yes, it's always
Is Bobby
threatening
gonna
people.
is Bob 9 gonna get a spanking? Oh, I've been such a bad boy. I said a bad word on Twitch. I get that's 3 little spankings for me.
Yep. We figured it out.
Oh, my little boy butt is so red.
Please don't talk about my boy butt. That's a con. I would say that's a con of my adult content. I might make women so wet that they might wet their socks.
Oh man, I am drenched down to my ugh, my stockings. Oh, gross. Oh, Bob, you're foul.
Don't do adult content.
Well, this is just for you specifically.
Me.
Yeah, there you go. Me. That's important.
Yeah, this is like anybody else in chat. Like you can't just like
This is
these
not a
are
copy paste.
yeah you
You have to
you
figure out it for
gotta
your
you
own
gotta do
thing.
this yourself. Yeah, write down. You can write down all of the things, and then you can fill it out yourself. And for yourself to sign. Maybe I start an OnlyFans or whatever. But for Bob specifically,
At this
this is a
moment in
clear
time.
cut case of absolutely not. I mean,
And it's
becoming the president of the United States of
yeah,
America
this
is
really
illegal.
doesn't apply to most people because Bob is very likely to become president, and I
And you're
imagine most
probably
people,
not.
yeah,
Yeah,
most people aren't. So
yeah,
I'm
for
so
sure.
sorry to all the horny people in chat who wanted to see my penis. Even if the
Or
pros won,
asshole.
I was not going to show you my penis or asshole. I just wanted to figure out should I do it.
just to know.
But I really hope, you enjoyed the whole process because this is the best way to come to conclusions. You just weigh what are the pros, what are the cons, and how valuable are they. And this is going to be the best that we could get to just moral truth. Like, you can make stupid ass arguments all day, but if you don't actually make the T chart and assign value to it, what's the point?
Yeah, your arguments are useless,
Because
dude.
everybody, like, yeah, when it comes down to morality, people always they do these debates and then they use these dirty tactics and it just gets all messy, right? Like the spirit of the debate should be finding truth, not being right, and that's often not the case. And what we did today was an exercise in truth.